Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with keto, under 20 carbs. And the reason I've got this SE grin is because I have been totally charmed for the last hour of my walk. And my only conclusion is that if I ever work for another corporation, well, first of all, shoot me, but if I actually think that I'm going to last at it, I need you to have somebody from a male from Australia to come in and just let me go. Not fire me for anything, just let me go. Make it easy because they have such charm. I'm just a sucker for anything Australian. I admit it. And I think it began with that movie with Donald Sutherland where he was a priest and he had the male and female couple that I think were really a couple from Australia on his team. And then I always loved Peter Allen, too, the singer that was married to Liza Minnelli. But now I'm totally in love with anything low carb down under with the Australian speakers. They just spell out low carb, high fat food plans, which are easily keto with carbs under 20, in such a way that it's like, how come everybody isn't doing this? Isn't this just so obvious? And also, I also listened to Dr. Jason Fung, the Obesity Code, who talks about cracking the code to insulin. And he's so irreverent. He's from Canada. And I just love listening to him because you would not think that was a doctor talking. You would think it was somebody regular. And even though he can get technical and kind of like have my eyes glaze over, he does get to the point. But he leads you all the way through it. And so, as my dear pickle Joyce says, land the plane, will you? So, anyway, so if Jason Fung is doing a 45-minute talk, you know that by the time you get to 38 minutes, he'll be at the part that you're waiting to hear because the other stuff is just way too inside the body. But anyway, back to low carb down under. They have seminars and events. It looks like every 6 months. They have them in Australia, but they also have them here in Vail, Colorado. And the one that I was listening to is a 6 month ago one. So that would probably be August, September, I think. And his name, I love Tim Noakes. He's the runner that pushed having carbohydrates before long runs, even invented the goo that I guess a lot of runners have for quick carbs squeezed into their mouth. And then he realized that he was all wrong. And but this one that I've been listening to today is Dr. Peter Bruckner. And he is so Australian charming with all that he has to say. I mean, he just has me in hysterics. And he oftentimes brings up things about Australia as well as the United States. Things like how diabetes is going to take over Australia's health budget in total in just a few years. Not all the health issues, but he said what we spend today, we will be spending just on diabetes in just a few short years. And he said, you can assume it's going to be the same for the United States, and he's right. And he talks about, he just has a charming way of saying it. And so I put him into YouTube to do a little search. And I did come up with quite a number of interviews with him. So if you just want to smile today, if it's just a dreary winter day with not a lot to look forward to, that is, well, he's mine. Let's just get that straight. But I will certainly share him with you. And I don't know how I could not have a smile on my face after listening to a half hour of that charm. And he's older and wiser, and I love that. And he mockingly talks about how he ignored all the fatty liver labs and showing that he had fatty liver. And he goes, well, I don't know what that means, so I'm not going to pay any attention to it. And it's like, oh my God, the human factor. I love that. And when he did starting paying attention, he lost all of his numbers improved in like 3 months. And the people in the audience clapped, and he said, don't clap for me. I was the doctor, and I was the one that put on 38 extra pounds. So, you know, and then he quizzed the audience, which of course is the choir for him. And he said, how many of you learned surgery in medical school? And everybody raised their hand. And he said, how many of you learned pharmacology in medical school? And they all raised their hand. And he said, and how many of you learned nutrition in medical school? And he said, not one person raised their hand. And he said, how about just one nutritional lecture? And he said, I don't even think I had one of those. And so it is amazing. It's not surprising. And so we have to be vigilant about our own health care. And if you're with somebody that can't explain to you the numbers in your lab work and what you need to do to make them better or to keep them going, perhaps you need another doctor. I don't know. Somebody asked me about my lab work and how it was and would I share it. And it's not fair to compare somebody's lab work to somebody else's because we're all unique. And, that woman doesn't necessarily eat exactly like me every day unless she's stolen my Lose It. And so it's very, very, very important to eat your food plan, have it, written down or on a tracker someplace so that you do know what you are eating. And if, say, you have a blood test done since you started keto or low carb, high fat and under 20, and so then when you're going over it with your medical professional, you can see the difference, a before, a during, and later on. And so it's just important to check in with medical people if you're unsure and not just diving in. I'm a dive-in person, and my labs came out great. And so, but don't take my word and what I eat, as gospel. You have to figure out what works for you and your system and how far into it you are. I had many, many decades of the standard American diet. And so I had a lot of woods to crawl out of with what I had done to my body with sugar and refined grains all my life. And I can't answer for somebody else how they do it or should do it. Who knows? I never got to the lecture by anybody with my labs. I always got your cholesterol's a little high, but nobody ever gave me a statin script, and if they did, I would never fill it. Dr. Bruckner also said that taking statins every day of your life will make your life prolong for 3 days. And I don't know if he was kidding or not, but it was pretty funny. Now, ironically, I just went for a thyroid wellness visit, and my doctor told me that now that I'm on Medicare, when I have lab work done, they don't test cholesterol for people that are on Medicare. How wild is that? And she said, so I hope you don't have cholesterol issues. So then she pulled up my labs for the last couple years, and she said, no, your cholesterol's great. So, it's not like I have to have a supplemental insurance plan. I do have Blue Cross Blue Shield for supplemental, but to be able to test the cholesterol. But how interesting, huh? So anyway, that's my little rant for the day. If you want to have a charming smile on your face for the rest of the day thinking of this man with his delivery, just grab 15 minutes of Dr. Peter Bruckner, and I'm willing to share him. And then you will know my sense of humor once you listen to his all things Australian. So have a wonderful day, my little pickles. Go track, go have some lemon water warmed up, pack that fat, enjoy your day, have your veggies under 20 carbs. You can still fit them all in. It still works. Trust me, because I'm doing it. And I was a veggie piggy, for lack of a better word. And so now I have plenty of vegetables. I'm kind of having them with the 2 meals that I have every day. And I love it. I love my veggies. I love my fats. I love my moderate protein, and I love my bulletproof coffee, which I am still finishing off today. Almond cashew milk, heavy whipping cream, Calapo coconut oil, and froth. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20. I'm telling you, it's doable. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.